So we talked about who I am, how I got there, talked about clothing, talked about food. Now let's talk about all the crap that I brought with me on my bike, and or maybe not on the bike yet, maybe we'll talk about that later, but definitely what was in my drop bags and what was in my Camelback hydration pack. So I was trying my best to keep as much weight on my bike versus on my back. And I had originally packed the bag with more. So I was super paranoid of flat tires. You know, you hear these stories about guys getting 3 flats, 4 flats, 7 flats, 19 flats, a ton of flats. And I wanted to be prepared. So on the bike and in the bag, I had a total of 4 tubes, sort of at all times. So I had 2 tubes in the back of the vest, tube wrapped in a plastic baggie to protect the tube a little bit, CO2s just to be there, and then rubber banded, and then it fit sort of nicely right in those little sort of back pockets. What do I have in here? Oh, talked a little bit about it. Toilet paper, just in case. So one of my theories in life is the best way to be an optimist is to prepare for the worst case scenario. So if you're prepared for something, you can sort of let it go mentally. And that's what I try to do with every aspect of this race. So I wasn't too concerned about anything. I felt I had prepared, and then I just was going to accept whatever happened during the day. So that's it for there. The mud scraper. I bought one of these when I got there. I also brought one of these. It was a little wet out there, not super wet, not super muddy. As you can see by how clean both these are, I did not use either. But better to have and not use than to need and not have. That's kind of catchy. What else? Is there anything in here? Oh, this was just a little note that my bike shop put in one of my water bottles. Just said, "We love Mitch." So I figured bring that along. Good karma, good luck. That's it for there. Water bladder. Now, front pockets. Again, I watched a lot of YouTube videos, and ironically, I watched one by the gravel cyclist, right? You might, if you watch him, watch YouTube. Seems like a super nice guy. He's the one that always starts his videos. Good day, trendsetters. That's my best. So anyway, he had a video about what he had in his cooler the year before last. And he said he had these hot shots. He had one of these. He started to cramp. He drank one. Excuse me. And the cramps went away. So I bought these when I saw that video, probably a month into training. And, you know, I can't say that I use them that often. I use them a couple times on long training rides. Not so much when I cramped, but when I felt I might cramp, just to sort of be preemptive. Because I find it's a lot easier not to cramp than to cramp and then try to maintain not cramping past that point. So I did whatever I could not to cramp. Knock on table, that worked pretty well. I had 2 of those with me just in case. Tools, quick access, this little doohickey thing that has a bunch of different size wrenchy stuff on it. And then this I bought while I was out there. It's like this little wolf tooth doohickey thing. Has a couple smart links in it. It's apparently a chain plier. Again, I had no issues on the bike, but I had heard maybe 2 years ago, whenever one of the wet years was, there was that first segment that was ripping people's derailleurs off. So you hear that and you're like, oh my God, how do I prepare for that? So I had this, And when we get to my bike, I'll show you that I actually had a complete spare chain, and I had it set up and marked for if I needed it as a normal geared chain, or God forbid I had to set my bike up as a single speed, I had it marked for that as well. So we'll get to that later. That's that package. Oh, what's in here? What's in this goodie? Oh, just a little CO2 screw-on regulator doohickey thing. You can tell I'm very technically savvy. Oh, wait. Because you can never have too many, super tiny little tool. Why I had this and this, maybe there's a couple tools on here, I don't know. You start playing that weird game and you're like, what if? What if? And my brain always goes, well, you better bring it. Just have it. Oh, I completely forgot to mention this on the food aspect. I had this too. So this is goo. I buy the goo in the big container and then squeeze it into these little handy refillable ones. Super, super easy. And they fit right in here and they come in and out pretty easy. And that was part of my on the bike food program as well. Should have mentioned it earlier. My bad. And then some salt tabs and some Tylenol, just in case. Didn't take either, but you never know. Thought maybe foot pain, some Tylenol, cramping, salt sticks. So that's what was in here. And I'm gonna take a minute to put it all back, just so I don't have to do it later. And in a second, we'll talk about the 2 drop bags that I created. And you'll see how easy all this stuff sort of fits in here. Wolfie thing, little other thing that doesn't have a name. And there's a good chance I will not put links below this video to, oh, that's nice, this just broke. If I was to do a product review of this bag, I would give it probably a mixed review. It is a so-so bag at best. And the fact that that little thing just came off and it's gonna be a pain in the ass to get back on. Also, you know, the hydration bladder, it's supposed to connect to this little tab, super pain in the ass to get it on there. And the top of the actual bladder itself, it cross threads quite often. So you have to make sure when you put the top on, it's threaded correctly, or else the water leaks out. And when the water leaks out, it gets all your stuff wet, and that's a drag. No one likes that. Or it leaks in your car and then you have no water. There's lots of bad things about that. Zip that up. Hopefully that doesn't break. I'll fix this later maybe. All right, I think I'm gonna stop there and then do a whole thing on support and drop backs.